Hey everyone, Christopher Beast here, and in today's video we're going to be covering dev stream number 37. I know I'm a little bit late as the dev stream happened yesterday and I really should have uploaded it yesterday night, but I was feeling a little sick and I still have a little bit of a cough, but I am better now, so we're going to be covering it today. Dev stream 37 was a massive one with so much information in it. It's making 34 and the other dev streams that I considered okay look like child's play. And it really was a giant breath of fresh air, especially after 36, was kind of a minor disappointment. So let's get right into this. So let's start by acknowledging Zane was not here this week. Instead, we got Johanny, who is the lead programmer, and he was the one who gave us most of the interesting information. So let's start with Legacy Season information. So they confirmed we will only be getting one Legacy Season to start out with, and this Legacy Season will be Season 1. More seasons will be added over time, however, until eventually we have all of them. They added that when we get more than one Legacy Season, you're only going to be able to put one Legacy Season worth of XP at a time. So you can't be leveling up Seasons 1, the current season, and Season 5, or whatever the next one we get at the same time. You're just going to have to choose one of the two Legacy Seasons. On that note, though, the Battle Pass and the Legacy Season can be grinded at the same time using the same XP, so you won't have to choose between now and the past. With the expectation for Legacy Seasons, and really 8.1 as a whole, as stated by Johanny, is early July, or 3 to 4 weeks. I'm going to say based off a reasonable guess, and this is not me leaking things as a partner because the partners do not know, I think we should be expecting it around a Wednesday in early July. So if we open up the old calendar to take a guess as to what days this possibly could be, we could be looking at either July 7th or July 14th. Either day, I would expect 8.1 to be within that time frame. Moving on. Legacy Seasons will be cheaper than regular seasons, only 330 crowns as opposed to the full price of a regular season. And finally, seasons will not be going in chronological order based off, we won't get Season 1, then Season 2 in Legacy Seasons. The community will be allowed to vote on which season they want to see next, and I'm guessing this vote will take place on some place like Twitter. So, moving on to the next topic, grenades. Grenades are something that, while I might not be a huge fan of, seems to be very, very popular in the community. So, we have some good news for those who are looking forward to these things. The target for grenades release is going to be 9.0. So, that's not too far off. That's your, not 8.1, but that's your next major update. We're going to be looking at that at the end of the summer. They're currently working on grenades, and we can assume that the grenades they're talking about are going to be explosive grenades due to wording that came out of Johanny's mouth that included when it blows up, it's explosions. There's not going to be words that you're using with smoke, flash, and gas grenades. So, frag nades coming back into Vigor. They haven't been in the game since 0.8. If you're someone that's been looking forward to grenades, this is good news to you. And while I might not be someone who looked forward to this, more content's more content, so I will take it. The next thing they spent a lot of time talking on is the server situation. So, as anyone who played over the last 2 weeks knows, there was a massive server outage and issues that occurred. I think 1 and 2 weeks ago, there were 2 different issues that occurred. Johanny talked about all these issues and clarified why all of them exist. This is unrivaled information. We've never really gotten this much communication from the devs, and it's a massive breath of fresh air. I'm going to quickly explain what explanations he gave. I'm not going to read through it all because it was a lot of information regarding it. So first of all, they were upgrading some of their servers. They didn't really properly set some of them up, so that's why we had massive server issues. But that actually means since they upgraded it, the server should be net better now because they're new, and they're working on stabilizing the servers with these new ones. He explained the whole when you would get into a lobby that seemingly seemed to be max boosted and then you just got kicked. This is because your client side could not send the required information to the main server. This is the same issue that was occurring with the whole EUM and shootout seemingly not giving rewards. If that necessary information is not conveyed, then the server cannot do anything. The devs also stated that compensation will be arriving in some form due to this bad weekend. They don't know what that will look like, but we will have to see. They understood that this was a bad weekend. Finally, the EU servers had a massive issue because the Frankfurt data center caught on fire, which is where the EU servers are located. And that's completely out of the devs' hands. So moving from servers on to the next statement, bugs. They are looking into fixing a lot of bugs with 8.1. So let's start with just listing them. The daily challenge bug, which is one that's been existent for some time, where you delete a daily challenge and it never comes back, is looking to be fixed with 9.0. Bloom bug, one of the most notorious bugs, or the ERG bug, if you do not understand it, I made a video on it not too long ago, is fixed for 8.1. Broken weapon after locks, like lock container, fixed for 8.1. And there are several fixes to CQC gunfire, including more frequency and just more, things feeling smoother at this close range. Tooltips have been tweaked for 8.1, but Johanny's not really the master of what's going on with tooltips, so maybe a future dev guest can explain more with that. Weapon switching will be overhauled with 9.0, and most importantly, those of us who are aware of the exploit called Full Fire is fixed. So, moving on from there, let's talk about some of the balance reworks. They confirmed a armor rebalance is coming. They didn't fully elaborate on it, and I'm guessing that's because they want the partners to elaborate on it when it comes out. The NDA it is. But, first of all, remaining damage done to armor is now going to be done to players. Basically, over-penetration. People have been asking for this for some time, and it's here. So, if you Parker Hail someone and tink their armor, then a second shot will overpen and deal damage to the player. And armor will now allow you to be staggered. At the current moment, you can't be staggered with armor. So this 8.1 will let you be staggered with armor. Just with those two changes alone, that is a pretty large nerf to armor. And yeah, Parker Hail is getting buffed. They didn't say how in the dev stream. They said a damage buff, I think. That's all we know. But if we take into fact that Bloom Bug is getting fixed, and they talked about in the last dev stream that Parker Hail bug is likely fixed as well, most likely I'd expect a pretty good Parker Hail going into 8.1. HBAR and SG1 are both getting rebalanced into, quote Johanny, big nerfs. Should be closer to their counterparts. I will cover this a lot more when the NDA is gone. Many people have been commenting that the Bugle is just as bad, and I think we're going to see, if they're going after HBAR and SG, that's massive, that's huge. We're probably going to see them go after Bugle as well, and that's a good thing. This is all steps in the right direction. To conclude my statements here, this dev stream is a clear sign for any of those skeptics that were skeptical after kind of the fall off in information and really, progress that we saw after 34 with Alex. The devs are still kicking it. 8.1 is seemingly going to be a massive quality of life update, really what we needed out of a mid-season update right now. And most likely, I think, will bring the game to a very good place. And I think a lot of people should be excited about 8.1. And this is the thing. This is what the devs have revealed so far. There's a lot more still under NDA from the partner side that I'm sure me and all my fellow partners are just dying to tell you guys. So look forward to 8.1 is how I'm going to finish the statement here. And just understand the devs are finally communicating with us. If you have any questions, make sure you ask the devs, and I'll try to answer as many as you can if you drop them in my comment section. But until I see you guys, this has been Christopher Beast, and I'll see you all next time.